Thank you, everybody. Welcome to Grand Central Madison. That's what we call this amazing place. I'm Jano Lieber, MTA Chair and CEO. I am not the star of tonight's event. The stars of tonight's event are the people who put this amazing book together and who run the MTA Arts and Design operation, Sandra Bloodworth and Cheryl Hageman. Thank you. We're all thrilled to be here to celebrate the new book that they put together, Contemporary Art Underground. It's really an amazing, all of us those of us who grew up in New York or have lived here a long time have grown to recognize that the subway, the non-New Yorkers don't always recognize it, but the subway is a place of amazing art and creativity in all kinds of ways, but especially in the visual art that we have here. The book sheds a light on all of this, these stunning works of art that are part of our patrimony and which have been growing in number and quality under the leadership of this amazing team. Since 2015, MTA Arts and Design has completed an incredible 103 new artworks. Everybody knows that we carry 103. 103. Those people are drunk on Pellegrino back there. They're just going to keep talking. And including the works right behind all of you, that amazing Kusama mural, which is done in the vernacular of subway art, mosaics, and also these incredible mosaics downstairs on the mezzanine by Kiki Smith. If you haven't seen it, ride that big old escalator, there are a lot of them, and go see, there are 4 amazing mosaics by Kiki Smith, a world-renowned artist, and they're out of sight. So I urge you to take a look if you haven't already. The book that we're celebrating, Contemporary Art Underground, tells the story of how these most recent projects came to be, from inspiration to fabrication, and there's a lot of fabrication involved. So congratulations again to our guests of honor. Thank you also to the publisher, Faldon and Monticelli Press. Am I saying that right? Fiden. Oh, everybody knows Fiden. Come on. Fiden and Monticelli Press. The editor, Elizabeth Weiss, Hillary Sheets, who wrote the book's foreword and who's here to tell you more. Maggie Murtha and Hannah Rothbard for their coordination of the book. Where are Maggie and Hannah? Way to go. Way to go. And of course, the artists who are featured in the book as well. I also want to shout out to the agency head. Is Kathy Rinaldi among us? Metro-North president. She had to go. Kathy done an amazing job, oversaw not just Metro-North, but the Long Island Railroad as well during the period when we were finishing up this incredible facility, Kathy Rinaldi. But hiding back there is the acting president. Soon you're going to lose that part of his title. Rob Free, the president of the Long Island Railroad, which runs all these trains into. And we all love art, but some of us love 96% on-time performance more. Rob Free. Ladies and gentlemen, Rob Free. Jamie Torres Springer, who is the president of MTA Construction Development, supposed to be here. He blows me off. But they're the guys who built this, finished this project, and brought it to fruition. And we're also joined by members of the Transit Museum. It's kind of part of the MTA family, who are here selling books, which will also be available in those Transit Museum stores. Please keep them open, Conchetta. We love those stores. And big thanks to tonight's sponsor. It's all that food and drink that's in the other area are donated by our Grand Central neighbors and tenants, City Winery, Bien Cuit, Donut Plant, Lilac Chocolates, Magnolia Bakery, and Murray's Cheese. Can you make a healthy meal out of all that? Unclear, but go help yourself. It's back there. So now we're going to keep the celebrations going with a real art expert, Hillary Sheets, who's actually an internationally renowned journalist and critic focused on visual arts and culture. She writes frequently for the New York Times, and I just learned that as a teenager, she had her first beer in my family's basement. Hillary.
Wow, what a lead up. Anyway,
True story.
I just want to say that I am honored to have been invited to write the foreword for this book. I think that we are in such a great moment in this city for public art, with all the extraordinary projects that are blooming in the airports, in the train stations, across the parks, in the 5 boroughs, in Governor's Island, and MTA Arts and Design has been doing this for decades and has really set the gold standard for working with the very best contemporary artists of our time. And so, Sandra, I just want to thank you and your team and all the artists that you work with for uplifting all of our daily commutes and for creating a sense of place and discovery as we all move around the city. So, over to you.
Thank you, Hillary. And your words today and your foreword in the book, they really help us to frame the story. Friends, thank you for being here this evening. It is a tremendous pleasure to look out on this audience and see so many familiar faces. And so many of you helped us to get here with this book. And we are excited to be able to share with you the stories that are now here. Writing this book with co-author Cheryl Hageman, and looking back over all that Arts and Design has done in the past 8 years, we have experienced just how powerful that was to do that much work in that amount of time, and part of it during a pandemic. So this is my 3rd book with Monticelli Press. The earlier books were written with Bill Ayers. And Elizabeth of Monticelli, she has been the editor for all 3. Elizabeth is here with us. And I'm grateful to her for her confidence in me, never hesitating to say, sure, let's do another book. Contemporary Art Underground picks up where the last book stopped in 2014, at which time we had installed almost 300 permanent artworks. Many of the artists and staff who worked on these projects, these earlier ones, they're here tonight. I know Wendy Foyer's coming. She was the founding director of Arts and Design, which was Arts for Transit at the time, and Kendall Henry, who's now Assistant Commissioner for Public Art with the Department of Cultural Affairs. Still, this book goes a little further than the earlier ones in sharing how these 103 projects came to be, offering insights into the materials and into the fabrication techniques. Included in this group are 6 new stations and this terminal. And our largest mosaic artwork to date, the Nick Cave project at Times Square, graces, as you've all seen by now, the cover of the book. The MTA system is always growing and improving, and we're proud to be a partner with construction and development, which is led by Jamie Torres Springer, the president, and we thank you, Jamie, for so much. We also want to offer kudos to Mark Roach. We especially are grateful to expand our breadth and depth of the projects of Long Island Railroad with you. Linda Tahn, who's here, who is in her role then as chief architect, has been invaluable to so many of the projects in the book, particularly those in the New Look chapter. Nearly 1/3 of the artworks in this book are the result of an initiative launched in 2016. We were challenged to create a contemporary transit experience through a series of rapid improvements. Co-leading this effort with Linda, we worked closely with Grimshaw Architects, who developed the design vision, further defined by the architects on her team, and consulting architects like DiDomenico Partners, who joins us tonight. And they realized the stations that we see today and created a beautiful dialogue with the artwork. We thank all the agency heads. Double thanks to Kathy Rinaldi, who had to leave, doing, as Jano mentioned, doing double duty for this critical period. And I believe Kathy Sheridan is here, president of Bridges and Tunnels, and we expect Rich Davey. I know Rob is here. Thank you, Rob. And Rich Davey, president of New York City Transit. Of course, I do want to extend my deepest thanks to Jano. We are extremely lucky to have so many supporters who understand the impact that art makes in the transportation environment. Special thanks to Shanifa Riera and her fantastic marketing team led by Jean Ribeiro. A huge thank you to John McCarthy and Juliette Michelson, who've championed this project as they champion arts and design every day. In my 28 years as director, I've heard from countless writers the difference that art makes. It's the difference it makes in their commute, as well as from delighted visitors. The artwork becomes part of the community it serves. This does not happen by chance. Hundreds of selection committee members made up of arts professionals and with representation from the community and elected officials. They have participated in the process for years. We're grateful for their time and efforts to bring the best possible art to their communities. To that point, I'd like to acknowledge all of the artists we've worked with who are here tonight. Please raise your hand if your work has been presented by any of the arts and design programs. Permanent art, posters, art cards, photo light boxes, digital arts, poetry in motion, and if you perform with the Music Under New York program. That's incredible, incredible. Thank you for that great round of applause for the artist. Now, I hope all of the artists are wearing name tags so everyone can meet you. To distinguish the artists that have done our most recent projects, those included in the new book, they have a thumbnail image of the book on their name tag so that you can please go up and meet them and meet all the artists, but talk to them about their project. Let's ask the artists included in Contemporary Art Underground to please raise your hand. I know many of them are back there with the refreshments, but raise your hands. And thank you so much. And thank you, thank you. And as well, thank you to the photographers who shared their images for the publication. Thank you. A very important partner to the artists are the fabricators, the artisans who translate the artwork into durable material, often mosaic, glass, or metal. They're so important to the success of these projects. Would all the fabricators that we've worked with raise your hand? They're surely in the back. There we go. Thank you to these incredible artists and fabricators. One big round for everybody. Cheryl and I both want to thank the friends and family whose patience and enthusiasm sustained us through this project. It means so much to us that so many of you are here tonight, and others are watching from home. I'm delighted to be joined by my family from Mississippi, my Mississippi family, and my New York family, the Miller clan, many close friends, including my confidant, Michelle Butchko, and my best friend, Fred May. Lastly, but certainly not least, thank you to the MTA Arts and Design staff who works tirelessly to realize and maintain these artworks, and who came together in a remarkable way to support this book effort and tonight's celebration. Contemporary Art Underground would not have been possible without the tremendous efforts of Maggie Murtha and Hannah Rothbard. Raise your hand. Deputy Director Yaling Chen. She deserves special recognition for her contributions, as well as having managed many of the projects included, along with Cheryl Hageman, Lydia Bradshaw, and Bridget Donlin. Some of these projects were managed by former staff. Lester Berg and Amy Hausman helped guide 2nd Avenue Subway and the Hudson Yards project to fruition. Alejandra Hernandez and Rob Wilson are critical to the ongoing care of our collection. Now, 400 strong. We also have 2 new members to our team, Andrew Gardner and Heather Reyes Dukes, fairly new. And they're a very important part of our future. Heather took on the many logistics for tonight and worked with the great partners at Long Island Railroad, Grand Central Madison, and Jones Lang LaSalle to organize the book sales. I want to give a particular thank you to the New York Transit Museum and the director, Conchetta Bensuanga. Also, Heather working alongside the museum and Monticelli Press to organize our book sales, which are very important, of course. And I'll just close by saying a heartfelt thanks to this incredible team of talented individuals. My gratitude goes out to everyone who believes in this program, of the many who have all helped this happen along the way. Thank you. Thank you for coming tonight. Appreciate it.
Okay. Show of hands. Anybody who hasn't been thanked? Okay. Sandra is amazing. Her team is amazing. And you should enjoy this event because there's free stuff in the back, but also because not too long from now, there's going to be a bar with oysters called Tracks right in the location that we're in now. They survived leaving Penn Station. They were a fixture at Penn Station, and now they get to be here. And instead of looking at a shuttered Nedix, they look at the Kusama. It's a pretty good deal. So enjoy Grand Central Madison, the art especially. Enjoy the on-time performance of that fantastic Long Island Railroad system. And please, please enjoy the artwork that is really part of New York and New York's mass transit system. Thank you, everybody, for being here.